then that brings you to the Pete Alonso topic. The Pete Alonso apparently has a good offer from the Blue Jays, but the thinking around baseball is if he was going to Toronto, he would have signed by now. So he is likely just sitting there waiting for the Mets to counter.
And from the clips that came out with Cohen, he is just kind of like whatever at this point.
He
Like he
doesn't like
doesn't
the
care.
negotiations.
No.
He doesn't like what's being offered. He doesn't like the structures, and he's just like, I'm not going to sign a bad deal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here's Pete Alonso, who switched agents to go to Boras because he promised him the world, and he's going to be this year's Jordan Montgomery. Alex Bregman still without a home. Alex Bregman is a Boras client. Pete Alonso is a new Boras client. These guys are working with him, and yet another offseason where Boras seems to be missing the mark and missing the market. And he's going to cost these guys a lot of money, just like he did with Montgomery and Bellinger last year.
Yeah.
And there are people around baseball saying he's lost it. Like he's lost touch.
I mean, I brought this up last week, and I think it's a fair point to bring up again is, 2023 offseason, you had Shohei Ohtani demanding $700 million. Or not demanding, but that's what he signed for.
That's what he got, right?
You got Juan Soto getting what? 765 with incentives to get up to 800 million. The rest of these free agents are going to the market being like, I don't know what I'm worth. Like I'm going in blind. I have no idea what I can sign or what I can even ask for because these guys were so astronomical at the top that like if I compare my stuff to them, like I can't even like prorate my contract to you almost have to just completely throw them aside and not even think about them. But at the same time, how do you judge the market? Well, if these guys are getting this, then I should probably be getting somewhere in this every year.
Exactly.
And it's just not the case. Teams are like, well, you're not Juan Soto. You're not Shohei Ohtani. So you're not worth $30 million.
Yeah, no, and those are hard comps because they're super long contracts, super high AAVs. There's a lot of other reasons tied to it.
Right.
But as of yesterday, Pete Alonso was apparently considering talking to other agents and firing Boras to get him out of the way. Now today he's come back out and backed Boras saying, "No, I'm going to stick with Scott. We know we have a plan." But it's expected he's going to sign likely with the Mets, fire Boras and start over, just like Montgomery did, because they're not making any progress. Boras has overshot the market again. He's left him hanging 2 weeks away from spring training. They're not getting the traction they want. They've got no leverage. Boras is trying to use Toronto against the Mets, and the Mets are basically daring him to go sign. And Alonso is now in this spin cycle like Montgomery was, where it's like, I don't have anywhere to go. And what the hell am I going to do? And it's because Boras is, I don't think he's not the super agent he used to be.
No.
I think he's very focused on his, he was all over the Juan Soto situation because obviously why wouldn't you? If you're getting a percentage of a contract, go get a percentage of the 765. I get it.
Right.
But he's not, these guys that are in that kind of top third of the market, he's missed it 2 years in a row now. And there's a lot of talk around baseball that he's lost touch with the marketplace. And general managers do not like to work with him anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're always demanding top dollar, it does get old after a while, I would imagine.
Well, and Cohen's comments say a lot. I don't like the negotiations. I don't like the structures being offered. I don't like the tone. And that's a major league owner saying, basically, Scott, I don't like anything you're offering me. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like, that's not a good spot to be in if you're Pete Alonso, when the owner of the team you want to be on is now pissed at your agent because he's bringing him trash. Right. And you clearly just want to go back because you could have signed already with Toronto for more money, but you're not. You clearly are waiting for the Mets to come back, and they may not. I mean, all indications are the Mets have moved on.
Yeah. And he's kicking himself now for not signing that extension that they offered him in the middle of last year, which was like,
what was 7 years, 158, something like that.
7 and 158, yeah.
I mean, is he worth more than that? I don't know, maybe, but he's 30.
Right.
A 7-year deal for a 30-year-old first baseman is not bad.
No.
But I feel like Boras for the second year in a row is showing that he isn't the the wizard that he was.
No. It would be interesting to see if he kind of, I don't know, like snaps out of it at the end of next year. Like, you don't have a Juan Soto or Shohei Ohtani coming up. Does he get back in touch with the market? Like, does he have a better feel for the market? I don't know. Maybe.
Well, and is he just paying more attention because he's not working
Right.
with Juan Soto?
Right. I don't know.
So I don't know. It's Jordan Montgomery fired him. Did not feel like he was well represented. Cody Bellinger didn't fire him, but almost fired him. Pete Alonso was considering firing, hasn't fired him yet. He's not done well by several of these players, and I think that his reputation is certainly turning.